Ah! What are you doing in my office? So, you want to know what makes people laugh, huh? Well, you've come to the wrong place. Believe it or not, I'm somewhat of a comedian myself, so I know a thing or two about how it's fine, shut the So I know a thing or two about how comedy works. I did 2 open mics, and the second one went just fine. Well, it went okay. I don't want to talk about it. Now, let's talk about where our sense of humor comes from. And now we walk into frame. Welcome to the frame, everybody. Some believe that humor may have emerged in early humans as a way to pick up on other unseen traits like intelligence. Therefore, humans would have evolved a sense of humor through sexual selection. Another one I know a thing or two about. In general, it's hard to determine what makes something funny in scientific terms, but researchers have, alright, enough with the text, we're just gonna do graphic box from now on, alright? But humor researchers have developed a number of humor theories in an attempt to describe the psychological aspect of comedy. You know, what makes certain things funny and certain things unfunny. Of the many theories, I find that incongruity theory, of the many theories, I find that incongruity theory, or incongruous juxtaposition theory, is the most all-encompassing theory of them all, and I would know. I'm hilarious. Incongruity theory focuses on the cognitive aspect of humor. It claims that the perception of something as being odd or out of place, you know, incongruous, is what makes us laugh. Take why did the chicken cross the road, for example. We don't expect the answer to be as simple as, 'cause he's gotta. So it's funny. However, theorists agree that incongruity by itself is not often enough to make something funny. For example, oh, hey. Now, you probably didn't expect that. You also probably didn't find it funny. You know, it was weird, but it was missing something. But if you did find it funny, we're gonna get along just fine. So if incongruity is not the sole factor behind what makes something funny, that begs the question, what else is there? What else is going on in there? You know, what do we got? What's the situation down there? You know, okay, for the answer to this question, let's turn to Eric, one of my many comic characters. Eric, what do you got for us?
I don't know where I am.
That'll do, Eric. Points for trying. Put him with the other unusable. Many different theorists have proposed different explanations as to what other factor— I told you no more text! Yes, it does! It does count. Many different theorists have proposed explanations as to what other factors are necessary to make something funny besides simply being incongruous. One of the most popular claims is that the incongruity must make sense or be resolved in some way, thus anchoring it to reality just enough to be perceived as humorous, and not just fucking weird. Think back to the chicken crossing the road example. We hear the setup, and we have no goddamn clue why that chicken wants to cross the road. He's a chicken, what's he doing? But then when we hear the punchline, we realize that it's not about why the chicken wants to cross the road, but why anybody would want to cross the road, which is obviously to get across the road. You know? That realization is the resolution, and the part that makes sense is, you know, we all know why you cross the road sometimes. You just gotta get over there. You gotta, like, I'm over here, I wanna be over there, crossing the road. Now, before I go any further, there are other humor theories, obviously. Let's just go over some of the most popular ones and see if they work. The first is relief theory, which argues that humor is a release of tension and that laughing is a release of nervous energy. You know, which makes sense sometimes. So the problem with this theory, obviously, is that, not obviously, I'm here because it's not obvious. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this, you'd just be home just like, I know everything, I'm a genius. The thing about relief theory is that it only applies to some jokes. Not all jokes or funny things build any sort of tension that needs to be relieved. Like the chicken crossing the road joke does, of course. You know, you hear, why a chicken cross the road? You're like, I don't know, why would a chicken cross the road? I like chickens, I care for this chicken, where's he going? And you hear, he just wanted to cross the road, you're like, oh, whoo, I get it. Chicken wants to be over there, he's over here, he's just gotta cross it. He just gotta do that. That's what he's gotta do. That's what he's gotta do to get to the other side. You gotta do what you gotta do, chicken. Relief. I am relieved now. But as I said, a lot of jokes don't rely on tension or even produce any. Like, when was the last time you went to a comedy club and felt nervous at all?
So I was gonna get a, you know, okay.
No, I mean in the audience, not on the stage. Never again, anyway. All right, so let's watch a clip of this guy telling a joke. See if relief theory holds up.
I'd like to think that I'm a nice person, but I don't know, man. A lot of it is context. There's a lot of things I wonder if the world was different. Like if murder was legal, I might have killed a few people. I don't know. I'd love to think, oh, I would never do that. But we really need the law against murder. For one.
All right, I cut you off right before the punchline. How do you feel? Feel nervous? You need to relieve some tension, huh? Or are you good? I see that text in the bottom of the screen, and I'm gonna let it go. Gonna let it go just this once because you're proving my point. All right, so the next theory is superiority theory, which traces all the way back to Plato and Aristotle and planets just floating around up there. Superiority theory claims that we laugh at the misfortunes and failures of others. Pretty simple, right? I mean, look at this guy.
I spilled Cheerios everywhere.
Hi, did you see that guy? Fucking idiot, am I right? Would you feel bad for that guy? I do. Feel bad for him every day. Anyway, superiority theory in this day and age is pretty easy to debunk as an all-encompassing theory, because we have such a wide array of stand-up comedy available. There's comedians whose entire acts are just how great they are and how they're so much better than you, and it's genuinely funny. Like, look at this guy. Look at this guy's bit.
A lot of times people complain that their significant other takes too long to get ready to go out at night. I've never had that complaint. She'll take an hour and a half to get ready, come down and be like, oh my goodness, you were so patient. And I'll be like, for what? You look disgusting. Right? Yeah, now she's crying, whatever, I bought myself an extra 2 hours to watch the game. Yeah. It's not like she's gonna break up with me. She's 10 years younger, she's one opinion away from being replaced. I can say that. I have a television show.
Ha 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 ha! Am I right? Sure, maybe you didn't find it funny, but... yeah, I mean, if you're not the type of person that finds that funny, then you're just not important to me. I don't care about you. But if you did find it funny, then we're gonna get along just fine. I believe that incongruity theory works for all jokes, that it's a perfect, all-encompassing theory, because any joke relies on contradicting your expectations, on setting up something, having you go into it thinking about it a certain way, and then they surprise you. And then you go, oh ho ho ho, it's funny. Whenever we find something funny, we find it funny because it contradicted our expectation, because they surprised us. I challenge you to think of one example of something that is funny or a joke that does not, contradict your expectation. And if you think of something and you think it works, put it in the comments. But if for whatever reason you can't, put it in the comments because, you're in a classroom watching this on a projector. And why don't you shut the fuck up and just keep watching? Keep it to yourself. Hold on a second. I want to go back to that hypothetical. So if you are watching this in a class, for example, maybe it's part of a presentation, maybe for a fourth senses assignment, I'm sure you're wondering, Ian, I only see 2 senses, sight and sound. Where are the other 2 senses? Oh, so you aren't funny. Well, I could hypothetically tell you to stick a hand down your throat and taste and feel what silence sounds like. Tastes like. Shut up. Traces all the way back to fucking Plato and Aristotle and those blankets, you just drape them over a shoulder, just expose this whole area. Old shit, Greek stuff, Beowulf. Fucking fighting monsters and shit. Other old stuff like the ground. Just all the ground. Dragons. Traces way back before dragons. Crazy old. What did we do before the ground? Nothing. Nothing. It's that old. And bones. Just bones. Gotta dig them up out of the ground. They're so old. But if you did find it funny, then we're gonna get along just fine. We're gonna get along just fine. We're gonna get along just fine. All kinds of humor, not just 2-line jokes, not just that kind of joke.
Oh,
is the most, you know, all Jesus. Think back to the chicken crossing the road example. Okay. I keep looking up from this. I'm gonna notice that when I'm editing this shit. It's gonna be irritating. Humor is a release of tension. The laughter is a release of tension. That must not be what I wrote here, because that wouldn't make any fucking sense, would it? Superiority. Gotta make sure that's still recording. Oh, you son of a bitch. Oh, thank God. He just wants to get to the other side. We have such a wide array of comedy. There's entire comedians not just a half, just the lower half of the comedian. Just this half tells this kind of joke, upper half really like slapstick. It's got arms, it's easy to do. Whew, he just wanted to get over there, man. He was over here, he wants to get over here. You know, I know how that goes. It's okay. The chicken's gonna be alright. Hallelujah. Okay.